finger over it. Very nice, very nice. I've done all the big bits and done those. And so I'm just going through smaller bits, screws and things, just thought I'd show what I'm doing. I've got the fan on, which is loud though. So I'll just wipe a piece, clean it off. Works nicely for anything. Compressed air really blows off the grease once you've soaked it in the degreaser. Right there. So now I can undo this, hopefully. It's pretty hard. That top thread is still a bit mucked up. This isn't sticking to anything, of course, because it's all oily. It's not sticking at all. Oof. That's the idea. Let's try it. That's what I wanted it to do. And there it is. Oh, straight off. Straight off. Doesn't even bind. Gosh. Straight off. How perfect was that? There we go. Gears, all of those bits nice and clean. And then over here, I've just finished cleaning all of these, every little piece. Every little bit, all done. Every piece is in pieces. Makes me think they should sell this as a kit set. So there we go. I'm going to put all this back together. Everything's looking perfect. But I'll do that tomorrow. Okay. So what I'm doing here to get these little scales out is I'm putting a blade down behind the scale like that, and then banging it in, and then hitting it that way, which has worked. So I thought I'd quickly film it. There we go, and I've got that scale out. So I can flatten that, and so I've just sprayed this shit all over the, all over here. Peeling off. It's very strong stuff. It's a mess, cracking off everywhere. Looked pretty ugly. So I'm going to do them black, same as I did the slide there. And I've just, there's quite a bit of this filler and then the primer and so on this. So I just smoothed it out wet and dry with 120, and I am now covering it with some rust converter. This is a liquid, proper thin liquid, not a gel or a cream or anything like that. So this will go on, and then it'll get wiped off, and eventually then you wipe it off with some spirits and get it completely dry. And then we paint it. All out, not primer, but they had fill all over that. I took the fill off. Put that the wrong way around. Alright, here we go. Don't fall off. Make sure they're all clean. Deburring is what they say. If you watch Lonely hacks and people like that, I always say, or hosts, I always say to, when you open things up here, first things deburr gears and the lathe beds on the sides and so on, because that doesn't get done. These actually feel good, these gears. I'll check the rest of the thing, but what I'm talking about is these holes here. They all feel really good. That said, the whole thing does bear on the paint there, basically, which is a bit stupid. I wonder if I've got a shim washer I could use, just to shim that out to where it's a little bit tighter. Take that from the edges, but I'm going to put a little bit on the washer and just oil that washer up like that. There we go. And this thing, just wet the underneath right there. Put this in. Spinning it and putting it down again. So that'll be part of the job, putting it back together. Let's go with that. No slack and plenty of movement. It was a perfect shim, that one. I'll just leave them out mostly until it's all put together, just in case I need to do something. Original, brand new, and that's an actual brand new one out of a assortment kit that probably came from the same factory. Astounding, the difference, isn't it? So we're going to put on a nice clean one. How is this thrust bearing calibrated? I don't think it is. There's no shims or anything. Look, that grease stayed on. Nothing bunched up here, almost nothing. So that amount was surprisingly, was the exact amount required to fill the threads up and not be wiped off. Weird. And we're looking for the little line, little index. Oh, there. These screws, they're going to get a little bath in CRC. And then this, with this, and with this. Feels good on there. That's the washer. And that's our nut. Is that nice and tidy enough? I guess so. Feels good. This one. So the entire adjustment is just this nylon lock nut. And I'd be inclined to tighten it on a bit like that, just take up any slack and then loosen it off and then tighten it on. Yeah, so the movement would be there. That. So we'll just go in again. Yep. Nothing. That feels good. Real good. Okay, so that gives me, if I lock that, then I get whatever that is in play. And if I'm just going to tweak it till it's gone. See, now the play is gone, but can I move it? Well, now it's under tension. Yeah, so now I can feel it. And if you lock it, well, I'm just going to take it back. So I get one. I'm going to take it till I get one of those dividers as the amount. Right there. Let's see. There, and then back to there. let's put the handle on. It's one of these. Now, of course, that's okay. I think it has that one whatever fraction of slack from that thread, not from the thrust bearing, but from the thread. Which means I may as well take it off to the point where it's actually nice and smooth, and it's still always going to have that same minimum amount, which I believe is that thread. Well, I can play with that anyway once everything's up and running. And then around there, so it's going to sit about right there. Let's just grease it up. May as well grease that whole shaft. I don't know if any of this is on camera. Let's see if I'm doing something here. It's not on camera. If I'm doing something there, let's try that. So there we go. Let's put this through. Does it matter which way? It does not. Now this has a couple of set screws. I don't know why it's got that one, because I can't actually see anything behind it. Seems small. Is there one in between? Don't know what this one's tightening down on. There's nothing there. Let's see. Maybe there's some sort of bushing in there. Yeah, maybe there's a bush in there. And that one just has to stay loose. No point tightening that up. It shouldn't really have a grub screw in it like that. There was that other screw that I put in here, but that's too big for that hole. So now down here we have this piece. Now I took the paint off these two tracks there. I mean, it's covered with paint. Obviously that's not meant to be covered with paint, but it was. So it's going to have, that spring is terrible. Haven't got anything else though. I'll just check in a moment. But did this have a washer of its own? Let's have a look. It did not. I've got a bit of spring. Have we bothered cutting it and grinding it? Not really. Oh dear. That one and a piece of that. That one there. Let's have a look. We have this piece. Now I took the paint off these two tracks there. I mean, it's covered with paint. Obviously that's not meant to be covered with paint, but it was. So it's going to have, that spring is terrible. Haven't got anything else though. I'll just check in a moment. But I've got a bit of spring. Have we bothered cutting it and grinding it? Not really. Oh dear. That one and a piece of that. That one there. Let's have a look. Yeah, wide. Pull that down from about there. Just start bending it. Then I think I'll open the whole thing a bit more, just by stretching it a little. I wonder why that hasn't got a lock nut. I wonder if I've got one like that. I don't think so. Means I can't just tweak it with my fingers quickly, but once it's set, I shouldn't need to. Let's see if there's enough meat in the nut here for it to work. I might. You can't really get a socket around there, can you? Well, it works. I'll try it like that and see how it goes. Who knows, it may be another improvement. Tiny bit more. I like that. That's easily adjustable, and that'll last exactly, it'll stay where it is for ages. Very good. That's out of the way. That's the one that's bent. This one has a bent lever. Very good. So I'll put all this back on. Let me just check that again. I'll do that. I'll go like that for now. That's good like that. That's the end. All right, so that's done. That part, apart from calibration, it's done. I think all of that's back in place.